stream to start.
Exactly. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Kenny Jahng here. I've got a Renaissance man, entrepreneur, tech genius, AI savant, founder of a really cool AI tool. Is it a tool, Dustin? What do you call it? It's more than a tool. It's a platform. It's a whole shebang.
Well, I just use the most common, easy to remember term. It's an app. It's an
app. Okay.
App that contains many different tools. At least that's the goal. Right now, we have a handful of tools, but the goal is to be just a standalone app that brings many AI tools together that creators need.
Awesome. So we're talking about Magi. If you guys haven't been there, you need to go to magi.co, MAGI.co. And I think over the next couple months, you're going to be seeing more of Dustin around. Hopefully, I'm twisting his arm. Just like today, I basically said, hey, I want to get you on the call and actually investigate the image generation features within the tool, because Dustin has been posting some demo videos, little sneak peeks into stuff that he's doing with the different functions. Again, there's so many different functions within this tool. And so today I wanted to talk specifically about image generation. And I said, hey, Dustin, can we just do like an over-the-shoulder zoom? One, for myself, selfishly, because I'm playing around with Dolly and all these other tools out there, Midjourney. And when I'm talking to church leaders and nonprofit leaders out there, telling them to spin up a Discord server, or really even trying to explain to them what Discord is sometimes for Midjourney is a little mind-blowing to people. And so finding a tool that's much more accessible, I think, is the answer for so many different leadership teams, staff, and volunteers potentially out there. And so this is why I just basically have bugged Dustin, say, hey, I know you're busy, but please divert some time for me. So thank you, Dustin, for...
I haven't even gotten through my first cup of coffee. Jeez.
Yeah, he's like, can I just get out of bed first? So I woke him up. Anyway,
I'm on the West Coast, so I'm probably a few hours behind you.
Yeah, Dustin, you're not available on demand 24 hours a day. So
I wish.
Let's just get right to it. So just explain to me what the specific tool is meant for, and then maybe if you could just share your screen and let's walk through, and I'll just pelt you with questions, and I'd love to see if you're up for it. Can we just try to generate an image or two and see your actual creation process using the tool?
Sure. Where do you want me to start the tour?
Well, why don't we let's go into so this is the dashboard when you log into Magi. And then show us literally where is the image stuff.
Yes, the image generator is something that I wanted to experiment with. Obviously, the big buzz is around the chat. ChatGPT is driving all the buzz right now. And so, that's kind of where I focus. But as a designer, I couldn't help but want to create some visual tools as well. And so the image editor, where you create and manipulate images, lives in the image editor tab. So if you click on that, it opens up a minimal interface with a handful of tools. And within here, you have an icon. If you click it, will pop out an input. And the idea here is you just type out your description, just like you would in any of the other AI image generators. You type out your prompt, your image generation prompt. I did build in an advanced tab. So if you click on the advanced little button switch here, you still get the input, but you get these drop downs. And right now there's only a couple different ones, but the goal is to add more. But the idea here is not everyone wants to sit and study how to become an image prompt engineer. They don't want to be able to, they don't want to have to like sit and type, 30 different descriptive words to hopefully get what they want. So what I've done on the back end is I've assigned certain descriptions and certain keywords with each of these settings, and therefore we're kind of adding to your description. So the idea is you can create the simplest description possible and use these add-ons or these stylistic additives to kind of enhance your output. And so that's the idea behind the advanced. So I also wanted a way to upload images. So if I already have an image and maybe I want to use some of these tools to apply to the image that I created elsewhere, I wanted to be able to upload them here. You can do that there. I'm a big fan of the gradient trend. So this is just a simple gradient generator. Type in some colors. It creates a beautiful mesh gradient just by typing in the colors.
Nice.
Oops. Looks like something's not working there. I'll get that fixed. But then there's also a background remover. If you do have an image in here and you want to remove the background, there's a background remover. There's an AI background replacer, which you need an image in there first. But the idea is, let's say you have a background on an image, but you don't want to remove it. You just want a different background. So this is an AI tool that will allow you to replace the background with AI. It's actually really good. And then an image upscaler. Problem with a lot of AI generated images is they're limited in size and resolution. So the idea here is you can upscale it or increase its resolution by 400%. And the AI will actually go in and make sure it's not pixelated, make sure it's not, there's not any artifacts in there from increasing that resolution. So.
Oh, wow. And what file format is the output for that one when you save it?
These are, I believe, so the remove background, I believe it generates a PNG because you have to in order to have that image transparency. Yes. I believe the other ones are JPEG, but they may be PNG as well. So just a little behind the curtain here. One of the things that I wanted to do with this particular image editor is bring in several different AI image APIs because there's a lot of different ones out there. And currently you have to like subscribe and sign up for each one individually. And that's just annoying. So I wanted to bring in my favorite ones into this one interface. So the image generator, when you use this input here, that is a straight DALL-E 2 connection via OpenAI's API. So by using this image generator inside of Magi, you are using DALL-E, plain and simple. When it comes to the remove background, I'm using a company called ClipDrops, and ClipDrops has one of the best AI image background removers on the market. And they're the ones also behind the background replace and the image upscaler. So I've got two different APIs connected inside of this particular image editor for now. I'm exploring some other ones, some stable diffusion powered ones that will help you to further manipulate the image in a way that the other tools won't allow you to do. But yeah, that's kind of how it works as of now.
That's great. Now, the image uploader, are you able to do like the Lensa app and all this other, the headshots that everyone's doing? Like, can you create those types of portrait profile pics?
So what the technical term for what you're talking about is called an image to image. So you take one image and you use that as your basically as your input. And then the AI looks at that image and creates something similar, or with the subject matter, creates something similar. I don't currently have that. The mechanics of it are in the works inside the app, but I haven't been able to really nail it down as far as like the user interface and getting it to come up with consistent output. So it's on the roadmap, it's there, but not currently.
The use case I'm thinking about is I was talking to someone just recently about staff bio pages. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering maybe one way to use Magi is to actually take pictures or get pictures from people, remove the backgrounds, and then replace the background with some sort of consistent image gradient or some style, right? Mm-hmm. Is that something that you might be able to do? I don't know if we can grab a headshot of an actual person and actually try to do something like that. Is that something that we could walk through?
So we could try with our Shiba Inu here if we want to remove or replace the background. So you don't even have to go through the remove background step first. You can actually go straight to the replace background. And let's just say, purple neon lights. Literally just type the thing that you want in the background, and it knows to leave the subject alone and to only modify the background. And we'll see what it comes up with. Purple neon lights for our Shiba Inu gangster rapper.
Yeah, so literally you could, yeah, I mean, you could make it, I'm just thinking like for a staff headshot, it could be like an office background, or it could be a neutral color, or it could be some gradients background or anything like that, right?
Yeah. Now, the problem with that, with our current AI stack, is you probably won't get the same exact background each time. And so what I'd probably recommend in that scenario is you remove the background from the staff shots, generate a separate background image, and then apply that image, that same background image for each one, just for consistency, because the AI, what it's going to do here, it's going to generate a different background every time. So even if I were to use the same exact phrase, purple neon lights, you're going to get a slightly different output every time, because essentially the AI is starting from scratch each time.
Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it would. I'm sure if you played with the prompts, you could get a whole series of things that are similar.
Yeah, and in fact, I did do that. I could probably log in and show you this real quick, because it's kind of funny. I think I shared one of the images in the group. It was like a Perry Noble lookalike. Let's wait for this to finish generating, and then I'll pop over to my admin account where I created it. Yeah, see, slightly different. It looks like purple, the Matrix.
Yeah.
All right, let me log into my admin account and show you this fun thing I created for a fake church that I was exploring with. Let me see, log in.
Now, is this desktop only, or is it mobile friendly? I would think that this
is mobile friendly for the most part.
Mobile friendly.
Yeah. You pull it up on a mobile phone, and there are, everything is accessible. The image editor changes based on the screen size. So you don't get a lot of the additional tools in there, just because they wouldn't work on mobile. They wouldn't fit. But yeah, everything else is 100% mobile friendly.
But I mean, I could use my iPad, you're saying, versus a desktop.
Yeah.
This is
so
great.
Here you can see some staff shots that I tried to generate for a church.
Exactly. Okay, so can you walk through those? You could pick a bunch of these, and they're very similar. There are a couple that you would change again. Yeah. How did you generate all that stuff? Was it the background remover, background replacer?
So this is a 100% AI shot. This is that is not a real person. Gotcha. So and the great thing about Magi is whenever you generate an image, it adds to your library here. You can go back and you can actually see what the prompt is that was used to generate it. And that way you don't have to guess like, oh, what was the thing that I said? What prompt did I use? So we know here that there's a profile picture of a Bible scholar. It was using depth of field, background is bright purple, portrait photography, high resolution, friendly, professional headshot, centered. So
love it.
So we could probably, if we were trying to do an extraction of that background on an isolated portrait of someone, we could probably pull out, depth of field, background is bright purple, pull out some of those things and try to use them. And as you can see, like if these were on a staff page, they would feel similar. They wouldn't feel
absolutely. Look, it's better than when you have random photos. Again, the use case was they have random photos that the staff, they didn't hire a photographer, right? And their pages had just random photos that staff submitted, and some were like in a living room, some were outside, some was in the office, and so it felt completely disjointed. Mm-hmm. And so at least here you have the purple motif. There's some stylistic stuff that I think that you can start to really become consistent, which is great. Okay, can you talk about specifically generating something from scratch that someone might use for for example, another use case someone said is communion. All the stock photography out there for communion is not good.
Yeah.
How do we actually generate something with, the host elements, the bread and the wine, the chalice cups, etc.?
I mean, really, there's some basic rules when it comes to generating images through AI. You want to really give it a very specific subject. At the moment, it's not great at handling multiple subjects that are dissimilar, at least what I've found so far. So you want to try and find the subject matter that it covers. So if I were to do like, a cup of grape juice and then bread, and I would kind of describe those as separate items, it wouldn't generate them quite as well as if I were to say communion elements, because it probably knows what communion elements are.
Yes.
And describe that as a singular subject rather than trying to do multiple subjects. So, we can try it here. We can say communion on a wooden table. You kind of want to describe the environment a little bit too. So we'll say church. Give me a descriptive word here. Church scene. I don't know how that works. And let's just leave it at that. I'll add in my little stylistic elements here. We'll make it a photo with some cinematic lighting. And we'll see what it comes up with. So we've described the subject matter. We've kind of described the environment a little bit for it. And we'll see what it comes up with. And it does take a minute sometimes because it's sending all the way over to OpenAI, coming back.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, got a little a fancy cup and some fancy wafer. This is a wealthy church. They've got some fancy communion.
Now, the outputs are always square for Magi, right?
Yeah. DALL-E only provides through their API. They only provide square photos, but one of the AI APIs that I'm working with will kind of do whatever ratio that you give it.
Gotcha. And then is there any parameters that you can give it in terms of, I know like in Midjourney, you can do, focal weight, like so that this doesn't take the whole scene, that it actually is at a distance. I guess maybe you say it at a distance, or.
Yeah, I would just add those in as descriptive words.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've still got our thing up here. So I would say wide shot.
Yeah, wide shot. There you go. Okay, stuff like that.
See what it comes up with. But yeah, the DALL-E API doesn't have a whole lot of like toggles. I guess Discord's Midjourney doesn't really either.
Oh, that's better.
Here, it kind of widens it out. So really just use your words to give it the instruction.
Yeah, because I could see here then if you needed a landscape image, you could crop out top and bottom for this type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could even say centered.
Yeah.
Symmetry is another word that really helps kind of tell it, let's put it in the center. That's usually worked pretty well for me.
Now, is this very similar to what we would get when we actually use DALL-E directly on the OpenAI site? Like, is the capabilities mirrored? Is it the same?
It should be. I mean, who knows, what they're providing on site themselves. But from a technical standpoint, we're directly using the API for DALL-E. And I check the APIs every day to make sure that there's no updates or upgrades. Sometimes they tend to roll them out without telling anybody. So I'm on there every day, making sure that we're using the latest version, the most advanced version. So yeah, in all technical theory, this should be the exact same results that you would get, or at least similar to, as going directly to DALL-E 2.
Gotcha. So if you're paying for DALL-E, you should stop and just start using this, right? You're basically getting the same capabilities. You're able to save your prompts and see what's going on. You have a library. It doesn't disappear.
Mm-hmm. and you can upscale them for free with our upscale functionality.
Gotcha. What are some other use cases for image generation that churches in particular have been interested in, or that you can think of?
I think for churches in particular, like, I come from a social media marketing background in content marketing. So, I think for use in social media posts and in blog posts, this is really helpful because oftentimes you find yourself spending 20, 30 minutes going through Unsplash or Pexels, trying to find the right photo, right? And it can be so time consuming and so frustrating when you can't find the exact one. So having this level of control and with a little bit of practice, you learn how to give it the right input to get the right outputs. And so you can really have a lot more control in, getting the type of photography that you want. And, without having to learn Photoshop and Illustrator and all those fun things.
Gotcha. Now, the resolution output for this, is this 1024 by 1024?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So it's sufficient for social media posts, but if you needed a little higher resolution, pop it through the image upscaler and then it immediately bumps up 4 times. So you've got over 4,000 pixel resolution image.
Wow, that's nice. Okay, and then is there a quota of number of images that you can create on a monthly basis?
Yeah, so based on whatever plan you pick in Magi, it has allotted a number of words, and every time you generate an image, it pulls from your word count. Just to make things simple for people to understand. I mean, I could have used all the technical terms for what the APIs actually call them, but it's just easier to say everything is words. It's a picture on Magi is worth 100 words. So, in reality, they say it's worth 1,000 words, but on Magi, it's worth about 100 words. So every time you generate an image or upscale an image, it's going to pull 100 words from your word quota.
Awesome. I like how you're simplifying things.
Simple is
what
good.
Functions here in this image generator should we actually walk through that people might be interested in?
So I think we went through all the ones that are available. The image generator, the upload, the gradient's great for backgrounds if you're into that kind of thing. I am.
Yeah. Can you create a? Let me see how you do that.
Red, yellow. It wasn't working earlier. I don't know.
Does it? This is one question someone asked about gradients. Do these image generation software platforms understand like Pantone colors or hex for colors?
That is a great question. For some reason, the gradient generator is not kicking in, and I don't know why that is. I will have to investigate this once we get off the call.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that. The Pantone number or the the hex IDs for colors, if that actually works with these things. I've never tried it personally.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to investigate that.
Yeah. What is the best way to really experience this for themselves? Do you offer any demos or webinars or anything like that on a regular basis?
I'm always happy to jump on a call. We're still young. The app is only less than a month old. So, there's, not a whole lot of people fighting for my time at the moment. We've got well over 100 users at this point, but I'm happy to jump on a call, happy to walk people through it, but they're also welcome to try it for free for 7 days, no risk. Get 10,000 words to play with and just feel it out. But there's I lost my train of thought there. Happy to jump on a call. I do plan on doing webinars or weekly sort of live streams where I explore certain features or certain aspects of AI. But I haven't scheduled those yet.
It is awesome. Well, I think I'm going to bug you in the next week or two to come back and actually talk through the text generation tools, et cetera, because I think that's how you guys are layering all the functionality on top of ChatGPT type of stuff, I think is really exciting as well. But thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule today, Dustin. Really appreciate it. I think everyone here, this is definitely something, as you saw, the image generation stuff is pretty slick, but I love the fact that it's integrated across multiple APIs, and then it actually has both text and image stuff here. Future, can you see into the future for Magi? Like, what would be the next generation in terms of any wow functionality? Is video going to be part of this thing in the future? Where do you see this headed? What's your dreams for this app?
So Magi will be the one AI tool to rule them all. We have world domination in our sights. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm here for creators. I am a creator. I sympathize with creators. I live that creator life. And whether it's as a marketer, as a business owner, as someone who does ministry, I love Jesus, and everything that I do is aimed at bringing people closer to him. So, this is really a tool that I'm using for myself to grow the kingdom and to use my gifts and talents as effectively and efficiently as possible. So for me, an efficiency nerd and also a quality nut, I want everything in one place, and I want to give it the utmost amount of care. And we live in a great time where these technology companies are giving everyone access through APIs, the wondrous world of APIs, where any app can connect to any other app and bring that functionality together into one place. And so my goal is to bring in the best AI tools, the most in-demand features, and bring them in under one interface where people can access them in a not overinflated price environment, like some of these other tools out there that are charging way too much.
Absolutely.
I want to give people the most value for the best cost.
Guys, if you're watching this, you need to join into the AI for Church Leaders group. Dustin is an active member there, and I think Dustin's more than willing to connect with you guys, as it sounds, to talk about Magi, but he is sharing wisdom across all these other things in the group. Not just this one narrow lane. And I think it's to your benefit to actually learn from him as he leads in this innovation space for churches in particular. So Dustin, thank you so much for hopping in to our YouTube live, and we'll catch you here soon. I really appreciate it.
No problem, brother.
Talk to you soon.